students, welcome to the study portal. So today we are going to discuss about histopathology, which is your unit 1 from the subject histopathology and cytology. So today we are going to discuss what is histopathology, what are the tissue processing, what are the steps, what are the instruments. Okay, so let's start. So topic of our today's class is histopathology. So what are the learning objectives? So today we discuss obviously introduction, what is histopathology, and equipments, what are the common equipments we are used in the histopathology lab to process our tissue samples or organ samples, whatever we have received in our lab. Reagents and solutions, what are the common reagents and solutions that we are need in our histopathology lab. Histological preparations, before staining the specimen which we have received in the lab, we have to follow certain procedures of tissue processing. So we have to prepare. There is a histological preparation in histopathology laboratory. So we have to prepare the sample before staining. Then we have tissue processing. There are certain steps of tissue processing also. So we have to done them sequentially. So let's discuss one by one. So what is histopathology? So as there is a main branch naming pathology. Okay, so pathology have different branches. Okay, first like hematology, cytology, and histology or histopathology. So they all have different functions or different meanings. Like what is the meaning of hematology? Hematology meaning the study of blood. What is the meaning of cytology? Cytology meaning the study of cells. And what is the meaning of histo or histology? It is histology means the study of tissues. And if we add pathology with them, like cytopathology or histopathology, so it means that we are going to diagnose or detect the diseases in the cells or diseases which are present in the blood or diseases which are present in the tissues. So today our topic is histopathology. So what is the meaning of histopathology? Histo means tissues and pathos meaning disease, suffering. Histo means tissue and pathos meaning disease, suffering. That patient have some disease, he is suffering from some diseases which is in his tissues. Okay, so histopathology means tissue or disease suffering. Okay, so we have to diagnose is there any disease present or not in the tissues. Now it refers to the microscopic examination of tissues in order to study the manifestations of the disease. So what we have to do, we have to prepare our sample, we have to go through the staining procedures so that we can microscopically identify is there any disease which is progressed in the body of the patient. Okay. Now histopathology refers to the examination of biopsy, surgical specimens by a pathologist. So there are certain types of specimens which we have received in the histopathology lab, such as biopsy, such as autopsy, or sometimes surgical materials. During surgery, doctors send a piece of the organ to the laboratory. So in order to know is there any disease progress or how much the disease progress, is it converted into the cancerous or not. Okay. So after the specimen has been processed in histopathological sections, and histopathological sections have been placed onto the glass slides. Okay, after the specimens have been processed, first we receive the specimen, we will process that specimen, and after that we make the slide so that we can continue with our staining procedures. Okay. So what are the equipments in our histopathology lab? So there are some common equipments which we use in our histopathology lab on regular basis. So first there is a microscope. obviously, because we have to done the microscopic examination of our tissues, we have to see microscopically if there is any deformity present. So we need a microscope. As we all know, it is an instrument which is used to see the objects that are too small and that we cannot see with our naked eyes. And microscopy is the science of investigating small objects and structures by using such an instrument. So this is the microscope you all have seen in your labs or on your postings. So this is the very basic instrument. Obviously we need a microscope so that we can study all the structural deformities. Next is microtome. This is microtomy machine. This is known as microtome. What we have done, with the help of the microtome, we cut very thin sections like this. See, this is the microtome machine. Okay, there is a holder in which we attach our block. This white section is the block. Okay, embedded block of the tissue which we have made with the help of the paraffin wax or plastic cassettes. Okay, so here we attach our blocks, and here there is a knife. This is the knife which is also present in the microtome machine only, and here with the help of this knife we cut like this very thin sections of the tissues which we have received in our laboratory. Okay, so a microtome is a tool used to cut extremely thin slices of material known as section. So this is now known as section. This is tissue section. We have cut in a very thin slices, and now we called it as a tissue sections, very thin tissue sections. Okay, microtomes are used in microscopy, allowing for the preparation of samples for observation under transmitted light or electron radiation. Obviously, for microscopic examination, we need some slide preparation. So with the help of the microtomy, we cut the thin sections, then we proceed with the staining techniques, and then finally we done the microscopic examination. So ultimately it helps in our microscopic examination. So microtome is very important or very basic equipment in our histopathology lab. Now, paraffin wax bath. As I have told you, in histopathology, whenever we receive a sample, so there is some tissue processing steps which we will discuss in further lecture. So we have to make a box or paraffin wax boxes, or we have to embed our tissues in the paraffin wax, and then we have to set it in our plastic cassettes so that we can easily cut our sections and then done the microscopic examination. We have a paraffin wax bath. This is an instrument. In this there is a wax, hot wax or hot liquid wax. Okay, let's read. This is designed to assist with the handling of paraffin wax samples in the histology and pathology laboratories. It is essentially a hot distilled water floating out bath that allows for the meticulous manipulation and location of paraffin wax sections onto the glass slides. What does it mean? When we cut the sections like this, so when we have this cutting sections, so these cutting sections we have to transfer here so that we can easily take these slides on our slide from this hot wax bath. Okay, we put our slide, we put our slides over here like this, and these thin sections will paste it onto the slides, so we can easily take it on our glass slides for the further processing. Now another, we have slide warmer. This is our slide warmer. So this is a large slide warmer which provides the larger histology or research lab for drying paraffin sections in minutes in order to perform routine staining. So we use this slide staining warmer in order to perform routine sectioning within minutes. Okay, with the help of this slide warmer, what is the function of this? It helps us to drying the paraffin wax, because here it is in the liquid form. Now we have to dry it. So with the help of this slide warmer, we can dry our paraffin wax. Now what will be the next step? See, knives, honing, and stropping equipments. Listen students, this is not necessary that all the time in histopathology lab we only receive a liquid sample or small tissue samples. We sometimes we always receive a whole organ as a specimen, like liver as an organ or uterus as an organ. Okay, so we have to cut it into the small sections, then we have to embed it, and then finally we have to cut the thin slices with the help of the microtomy. So for that, if you receive a whole liver as a specimen, so first you have to cut it into the small pieces. So for that we have two procedures: knife honing and stropping. So you have big knives in your laboratory like this, and this is a wooden slab, a kind of wooden slab. So here you can put your specimen and you can cut it into the small pieces. So this is known as honing and this is known as stropping. Okay, now embedding cassettes. These are the embedding cassettes in which we embed our tissue specimens. So we have these embedded cassettes made up of plastic or metal sometimes, and they have different colors accordingly. Like we have yellow cassettes like these. They are the yellow cassettes. Yellow cassettes are used for the liver or renal. What is the meaning of renal? Kidney. Here we use the word renal for kidneys. Okay, so yellow cassette we use for the liver and kidney specimens. Then we have a green like this. Here we have a green cassette. So green cassette is used for routine specimens. Then we have white cassettes. White cassettes we are used for bones. Then we have grey cassettes. They are used for the skin specimen. And then finally we have a pink cassettes which are used for the lymph node specimens. So you have to know the color coding also. We have different cassettes in different colors for the particular type of specimens. Okay. Now we have a storage cabinet also. These cabinets are used to store the stained slides of histopathology for future references. Suppose you have stained some slide and it has a very beautiful representation under the microscope examination. So you can store it in these storage cabinets like this. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are there are so many compartments here. So you can store your stained slides for the future references, for research purposes, for educational purposes. Okay, so here we can store our stained slides whenever we receive something very good representation under the microscopy. So we can also store them if we wanted to. Then we have automatic tissue processor. See, there are a number of procedures of tissue processing, but they are manual. We also have an automatic tissue processor with us. See, automatic tissue processor is a compact instrument and designed with latest technology for complete automation, dehydration and filtration of tissues up to the final fixing in the wax. In this machine, every step will be performed by its own automatically, from the dehydration till fixing the tissues in the wax or embedding. With the help of this machine, you can complete your procedure from the dehydration till the embedding. Okay, so this is the whole machine and these are different jars. Okay, there are different jars which are fitted over here. This is the main panel where you can set all the timings and all the things you can set here. Okay, so in the different jars you have different solutions also, like alcohol, like xylene, like wax. So they can rotate and slides can also change. First you put the slides here, then slides can automatically change from this beaker to this beaker. Then when process will be completed in this beaker, then the slides will automatically change from this beaker to this beaker and so on. Okay, so this machine will automatically process your tissues till embedding. Okay. Now, reagents and solutions used. What are some common reagents and solutions we are using commonly or on routine basis in our histopathology laboratory? So, histopathology laboratories utilize various reagents and solutions for tissue processing, such as fixatives. First one is fixatives. when we receive sample in our histopathology lab, so we have to fix it in some solution in order to prevent it decaying, okay, or in order to prevent its original shape and size. So we have fixative, the normal fixative which are used normally or very commonly is formalin. 10% formaldehyde is a very common fixative in the histopathology lab, the most common fixative. It preserves tissues by cross-linking proteins, okay. We have other fixatives also, but formalin or 10% formaldehyde is a very common fixatives which we are used on routine basis, okay. Other than formalin, we have other fixative also like mercuryl chloride, glutaraldehyde, and so on, okay. Now next we have dehydrating agents, okay. As there are steps of tissue processing, so after fixation we have to dehydrate our samples. So in order to dehydrate our samples, we have to pass our samples in increasing order of alcohol, in increasing concentration of the alcohols. How? See, ethanol and alcohol, it removes water from the tissues in a graded series of concentration, increasing series of concentration, okay. So in dehydration, we have to remove all the liquid content which is present in the tissues, okay. So we have to perform first dehydration before staining. So for dehydration, we use alcohol. So other dehydrating agents are also there, obviously, like methanol, propanol, acetone are also used, but very commonly we use ethanol. Then we have third, clearing agents, okay. Clearing agents, like when we done the dehydration step, so we have to remove the excess alcohol. Now we have to clear our slides. So the common clearing agents we use in our histopathology lab is xylene, okay. Xylene replaces alcohol and make the tissues transparent, allowing for infiltration with paraffin, because next step is the infiltration. So it makes the tissue transparent and allowing for infiltration with paraffin, and it replaces the alcohol. We have other clearing agents also, like chloroform, toluene, and other solvents, but the most used common clearing agents will be xylene. Then we have fourth, embedding media, okay. We have to now, next step will be the embedding. We have to embed our tissues in the wax. So the most commonly used embedding media in our histopathology lab is paraffin wax, a wax that infiltrates the tissue, providing support for sectioning. In the further steps, we have to section our tissues in the thin slices with the help of the microtomy. So for that, we have to fix our tissues in the paraffin wax. Then we have stains. Then we have certain types of stains such as hematoxylin and eosin stains, special stains. So hematoxylin and eosin stain, it is a routine staining. See, there is a classification of staining methods also, which you have going to read in your unit 2, okay. Unit 2 is staining procedures in histopathology. So you have read about all the staining procedures, all the classification of these stainings. So here I will give you an idea, like HNE, hematoxylin and eosin staining is the most common staining in the histopathology lab, which we have done on routine basis, okay. Other than that, we have special stains also, such as PAS stain, Alcian blue stain, Congo red, etc. They are used to highlight specific tissue components or microorganisms. Special stains means they are used for some special things. They have to use to stain some special components which HNE stain does not stain, or they may be better stain these, or sometimes microorganisms are also present in the tissues. So for that also we have different stains, such as for microorganisms we have Zn stain, okay. Then we have other solutions also, such as mounting media, graded alcohols, buffers, and other solutions. So these are the common solutions which we have used in our histopathology on daily basis. We have to need these samples for the tissue processing steps, okay. Now, types of materials obtained in the laboratory. What does that mean? Types of materials means what type of samples we have received in our histopathology lab. See, we have received three types of samples. First, surgery material. Second, biopsies. And third, autopsies. Okay, we have received sample in these three forms. Okay, first we have received surgery, or we have received biopsy samples, or we have received autopsy samples. So how they are different from each other? So in surgery samples, when surgeons perform surgery on a patient, so they cut a piece of a particular organ and send it to the lab to diagnose or to detect if there is any deformity of the disease. Okay, so these are the surgery samples which we have received from the operation theaters during the surgeries. Okay, then we have biopsies we have took from the tissues or the organs. Okay, then we have autopsies. You can also say post-mortem. Okay, when patient die, so we have done a procedure known as post-mortem. The autopsy means post-mortem detection to identify the cause of the death. Okay, so you understand the basic meanings of these terms. So let's understand one by one. Okay, so the human tissue come from the surgery and the autopsy room. From surgery, two types of tissues are obtained. Okay, as biopsy, a small piece of lesion or tumor which is sent for diagnosis before final removal of the lesion or the tumor. See, before any final removal of that particular lesion in the body or that particular tumor in the body, a piece of that tumor or the piece of that lesion will be cut and sent to the histopathology lab before any final removal. This is the biopsy sample. Then if the whole tumor or lesion is sent for examination and diagnosis by pathologist, it is called excisional biopsies. We have received whole organ like whole liver or whole uterus or whole breast samples. So this is known as excisional biopsies. Then we have tissues. Tissues from the autopsy are sent for the study of disease and its course for the advancement of medicines. Obviously for the study purpose also, because patient is no more, they die because of any diseases. So now autopsy samples are sent or post-mortem samples are sent to the laboratories to identify the cause of the death and also for the further advancement of our medicines. Okay, so these are the type of materials or type of specimens we have received in our histopathology lab. Now, types of histopathological preparations. So we have to prepare our samples, as I have told you already. So we have certain type of specimens, as we can receive whole mount, or we can receive in sections, or we can receive as smears also. Okay, sections like we have received cut sections, or we have received a whole smears. They take a sample or they make a smear and then send it to the lab. So we can receive samples in different forms in the histopathology.